What's up YouTube? Today we're going to talk about the P320MAX X5 Limited Edition. This just came out from Sauer and I just received it, so we'll do a quick unboxing. It's not very fancy for something that's $1,000, but let's see what's in the box. What we get is the slide plus the optic, a 14-pound spring. The 12-pound spring is installed, and a battery and some screws to go on. Now they're a limited edition version with only 300 of these made. There's a gold coated barrel, bull barrel, also a one-of-a-kind unique lightning cuts. Apparently this particular lightning cut is what makes it extra limited edition. Everything else looks pretty much stock, as you can see. Take a look. Right? So these lightning cuts make it worth so much more. And then a steel guide rod with your standard your standard spring weights, 12 and 14 pounds, that are found in the basic X5 Legion and the X5 Max. Granted, so these are drop-in replacements, so we'll take a look at the X5. I mainly got this one as a replacement for the X5 because of the fact that, so quick safety check, that the Springer Precision plate does raise the optic, plus it is a different optic than the X5. This uses the Romeo 3, and obviously this is an SRO, so not only is it a little bit higher, there's a front sight that gets in the way, and also you have it's just a little different, right? Like when you're sighting it, the looking through the glass is a little different. The optic, the dot is 1 MOA smaller as opposed to this, so this instead is a drop-in replacement. What I'll do is probably change the slide, maybe sell some of these extra parts because I don't really need it. I use the tungsten guide rod anyway, and just sell the spring kit and see if I can make a few bucks back off the $1,000 and at least pay for tax. Alright guys, so now we're back. I put the slide on. I took off the other slide, which made it pretty easy. And here we have it. There's nothing really special about it other than these super cool lightning cuts and the barrel. And if we're looking at the barrel from the stock version, you can see that there's a bit of wear on the top. I have no doubt that the gold barrel is also going to wear a bit in certain areas. So we'll see how the coating lasts. I don't really have that many rounds on this one, or I have 0 rounds on this, so I'm trying to think about if I should even use this barrel, or I should have just used the other stock bull barrel from the X5 in this particular gun for the time being. It does look cool, I'll give it that. I'll check the weights a little bit just to see what this slide weighs like compared to the stock weight, because it'll be interesting to see what what those lightning cuts actually do, how the lightning cuts actually affect the weight. Aside from that, the gun itself, there's no real difference in handling or performance. It is nice to have no front sight for competition. This means that you can put your X5 slide back into stock format if you want and use the iron sights. I don't really use iron sights because it doesn't really matter for me. For the most part, I can index perfectly fine within about 5 to 7 yards without using iron sights. With that said, I don't have any intention of using this gun for personal defense, self-defense. This is my competition gun that I mainly use for training. So keep that in mind when you're looking at no front or back optic. It is also nicer that the optic itself is pushed back farther. If you don't have the Springer Precision kit, then it does ride a little bit closer to the ejection port, which means the optic will get a little bit more dirty. There's these subtle nuances to it, but overall, SIG itself, because the bore axis, because of the FCU and the design, the bore axis, the bore over sight is a bit higher than normal, so it does flip a little bit more than say a Glock or a CZ. Because of that, having it just a little bit lower is pretty helpful. Given the price of $1,000, the optic being $500 to $600 plus tax, the barrel being $229 on the main site. So that's about $700 already. If you look at the slide itself plus the spring, the internals are $100. So overall, it's not a horrible deal if you're looking for a backup gun or a backup slide, which this is for me. So, and here in California, we can't buy a full SIG FCU anyways. So for us over here, it makes more sense than someone say outside of California where you don't have a roster restriction and you can just go ahead and buy another X5. For me, I do like consistency. I do like having everything being fairly the same. This makes my backup gun look exactly the same as my primary gun, as you can see, and I got about 9,000 rounds through this now. I put a lot of rounds on it. It does feel pretty good to know. It feels nice to know I have a gun that is an exact duplicate, because I do compete pretty much every Saturday. It is nice to have a backup gun that I can trust. I have had some issues with my SRO kind of popping off. I'm not sure that it was thread locked and Loctite, but for whatever reason it wasn't holding on to the Springer Precision plate. So stay tuned for the next video, and we'll have a firing report at the range and also some competition vid with this particular gun. I may or may not use that barrel because I might sell it, but hey, who knows? Maybe I'll just keep it and use it because it kind of looks cool, and this will end up being my primary and the other one will be my backup because that does have 9,000 rounds. This one has about maybe 500 to 1,000. Zero on this particular slide, mainly on the frame and the FCU. So there is some creep that I can get rid of. I recently just put in the Armory Craft Sport takedown lever, and I also put in the Armory Craft reset spring, the 10% reset spring, so that it does reset a little bit better. It's a little more tactile. So these do have small modifications here and there, but for the most part they are stock guns, with the exception of my primary gun being, which has the Gray Guns competition trigger. We do have the Springer Precision extended mag release, and again the Sport takedown lever. Other than that, pretty much stock, as they say, right? So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.